A moment of closure finally for one Indiana family here at the Jasper County Sheriff's Department, a moment that they had waited 40 years to get, finally learning what happened to their uncle and brother who disappeared in the 80s, finding out he was the victim of a serial killer known as the Interstate Killer. This is the last picture ever taken of then 19-year-old Billy Lewis. The Jasper, Indiana native disappeared in 1982 on his way home from a funeral in Texas. Billy's mother passed away last year, never knowing what really happened to her son. Last week, though, just before Thanksgiving, Billy's siblings learned remains found almost 40 years ago on a farm in Jasper County belonged to their brother.
My dad said he just disappeared. He was there one day and then gone the next.
Thursday, Billy's nephew, who wasn't even born when his uncle disappeared, spoke about the long-awaited closure for his family.
I mean, we always wanted to meet him, but I mean, everybody had that thought in the back of their head that, you know, he was gone.
What the family didn't know was that for decades, investigators in Jasper County had Billy's remains all along, but didn't know who he was, only that someone had murdered him.
And at that time, of course, we all know that there was no such thing as DNA.
Then in the mid-90s, those same investigators learned their John Doe was a victim of serial killer Larry Eiler, known as the Interstate Killer. Eiler confessed to killing at least 21 young men in the 80s after picking them up along the interstate in Indiana, including the John Doe found in Jasper. But Eiler couldn't tell investigators John Doe's name, and the case went cold.
Here's my case file for 22 years of my life that I've spent in the coroner's office.
Until last January, when the Jasper County coroner hired a genealogical forensics company to try and help solve a 40-year mystery.
I've been entrusted with this case from 3 sheriffs ago and have dug at it for 20-some years.
DNA taken from Billy's remains and uploaded to a genealogical website found matches that eventually led investigators to Billy's siblings. When their DNA samples matched the John Doe from Jasper County, investigators knew they'd found John Doe's family.
This is somebody's kid, and somebody has to take him home.
And that's what's going to happen when Billy Lewis is finally laid to rest next to his father in a Jasper County cemetery.
We're a close-knit family, so it's a nice feeling to finally figure out what happened.
We have details on the latest discovery, along with the investigation into Eiler's other murders. Just head online to WTHR.com or open the WTHR app.